Serious, how did you break your first bone? When I was 11 it had snowed quite a bit, so my mom, aunt, and cousins went sledding. My cousin had a cheap ass snowboard he was going down the hill on, and had even made a little jump at the bottom point. I definitely wanted to try it. The first time down I hit the jump sideways and landed on my back and rolled a couple times. When I went to stand up I felt a pop and knew instantly my collarbone was broken. I couldn't move my arm because every time I did it would grind and snap together. We all took one car to the hill and I ruined the fun time because I had to go to the emergency room. I was in kindergarten and it was my turn to use the monkey bars. We all would usually reach to the second bar, which would cause you to swing a little bit. My dumb self thought it would be a good idea to reach for the third bar. I was a bit too short and fell right onto my left arm. The pain was pretty crazy, I must say. It was a hairline fracture near my wrist, but is still considered a broken arm due to the cast and such. I've also broken my chin where I fell on my chin due to a slippery floor and the bone basically cut through my skin when I landed. I didn't break the bone. I was about 3 years old, so the concept of using my hands to break the fall hadn't registered in my little brain. My mom wanted to see what had happened and asked me to look up, causing the skin to rip more. I needed about 11 stitches. My buddy had stolen my phone in a fun way, and I decided to chase him down. Now this happened at school and I decided to dump my heavy backpack, so I had the advantage. I was slowly catching up to him when I decided to drop his backpack right in front of me. One of my feet went in an arm loophole, while my other one stepped on the backpack. I was launched forward right on top of my left arm. The bone was bent. It was pretty painful, but everything turned out alright in the end. I was drinking in the woods with my friends at some graveside called the Cubby, and behind it is train tracks that when you cross over you go down a little dirt hill path, and it leads to the street. Well, I was walking down that path to go home and there was a hole in the ground and my foot went in it, and my body neutrally moved to catch my balance, but my foot stayed facing the front and my whole body twist and I hear and feel a snap and knew I broke something. BTW, I'm a cubby guy too, so the weight of my fat ass didn't help. So I'm sitting there in the woods in a patch of poison ivy that I didn't know about till the next morning, holding my leg and my ankle is just hanging and my foot is flopping and I'm fucked. So I'm thinking, how the fuck am I going to get out of here? So I build up the courage to stand up, and when I do, so I lose my balance again and fall back on that broke ankle and then snap my leg. So I broke two things my first time and have a plate and screws all in my leg and shit still hurts on given days when this was about 10 years ago. I was behind my horse and not being mindful and he got scared and kicked me in the face. Broke my nose, knocked my front tooth out, fractured my upper jaw and lost some bone up there. Resulted in an emergency surgery on Christmas Eve to fix my nose. Weeks later, I had surgery on my jaw to put a bone graft in. Months later, surgery for a tooth implant. Most costly mistake I've ever made. It cost me thousands of dollars. Was 10 years old in gym class. The gym teacher decided that I didn't jump rope the right way and decided she was gonna teach me to do it properly. Angry little 10-year-old me hopped up once, tense as all hell, landed, and collapsed. Instead of sending me home, the nurse gave me some ice, and I had to walk on it for the rest of the day. By the time I got to the emergency room, they told me I had broken 4 bones in my foot. Cheers for the American school system. I was at a roller skating rink when I was in 3rd grade. A boy and I got into an argument, and when I skated away, he came up behind me and pushed me hard, and I fell with my arm straight out in front of me, landing on my hands. The impact caused my left elbow area to break. The boy got kicked out for life. I had my mom pick me up. I told her my arm was broken, but she didn't think it was, so just iced it. She didn't take me to the hospital until a day later. I had to wear a cast for about 6 or so weeks. On the elementary school playground, I decided to be a dumbass and cover my face with my jacket while walking on one of the dividers separating the grass from the mulch like a balance beam. Naturally I fell off and broke my right elbow. The school had to move all the kids to the back of the playground while a teacher carried me to the entrance to wait for the ambulance to pick me up. Ended up with a cast and some pins in my arm for 6 months. At the time though, I was more upset about the paramedics cutting my Scooby-Doo jacket off me. It was the only one I owned.